Now we will take a look at the reports that are available for OPTO. As you can see, I'm in our system called MPP, and I have opened an assessment where we use OPTO. If I click on a candidate here, I will see the candidate card and all the reports for the test or tests that she has taken. In this case, Core and OPTO. We see which norm group we have used, when the test was completed, and which language settings I have chosen. If I would like to conduct a test interview in another language, I change the language on the report by clicking on the flag and then clicking on the language I prefer instead. But I will keep it in English for now. Above, we see the criteria if I have added one, and I can also choose to remove it if, for example, I need to produce a report for the candidate. But let's keep it for now. We will now look at all the reports, and I will start with 3 of them that exists on 2 different levels. We begin with the first one that's called Score Page. This is a 1-page report showing the person's results on a dimension level. It also shows the criteria for the position, assuming that you've developed a criteria for the position and included it when you generated the report. This report can be placed between you and, for example, a hiring manager during a review, or between you and the candidate if you conduct test interviews. Of course, you can also display them during digital meetings. If the report has the addition expanded, it means that we are on the deeper level, at the aspect level. So the expanded score page looks the same but shows 20 properties or aspects instead of 8 dimensions. As you can see here, the reports are the same except for the numbers of scales displayed over here. The next report I'm going to show you is called Score Report, and it looks like this. The deeper one is called Expanded Score Report, but this one is the score report showing the 8 dimensions. This is the report that the candidate can download, assuming you've made it possible, which we recommend. We begin with the first page, which is a cover page. Page 2 contains more information about the test, the norm group, etc. This page is mainly for the test takers who do not get a test interview. Then we come to page 3, which is an overview page. Here we have the 2 traits that gives the person the most energy. We call these the top drivers of performance. Below that, we present the strengths and pitfalls associated with these 2 traits. The pitfalls are only described when the trait scores are high, 8, 9, or 10. It is only at these high levels that the strengths may turn into pitfalls. Moving on to page 4, we find the first scales. They are grouped with 2 or 3 dimensions per page, and the group name is on the right side in the blue box. In this case, we see 3 dimensions, their results, and also the 3 descriptions regarding each result as well. Here we also see an example of how a spotlight is displayed. You can see it under the property corporation. The expanded score report looks exactly the same, but each page shows 2 or 3 aspects instead of dimensions, and you'll find the name of the dimension over here instead of the group. The next report in line is the interview guide, and it also exists on 2 levels, of course. Interview guide if it shows our 8 dimensions, and expanded interview guide if it shows the 20 aspects. Initially, they are exactly the same as the score report, with a cover page, an information page, and an overview page. Note, however, that on the overview page, you also get the person's matching percentage on the top, assuming that you have developed a criteria and included it when you generated the report. Even page 4 on this report looks the same as before. But after that, it comes a question page. And after that, we get the next group of dimensions and that dimension group's questions. These questions are excellent to use if you are unsure about what type of questions to ask the test person in a test interview. We also recommend that you provide these questions to the hiring manager so that they too can have qualitative questions for their interviews. If the manager is the one to conduct the test interview, then this is the report they must use. Now we come to a more specific report, and it's called the decision report. Now we come to the more specific reports, and the first one is called decision report. The decision report is for the hiring manager, and it looks like this. First, we have a cover page, as in the other reports. Also, the introduction page and the overview page look the same as, for example, the interview guide. Note that here too, the criteria matching is visible if you have chosen to include it. After that, we have the candidate's result at the dimension level, so this report only exists at the higher level. You also see that the criteria is visible on the results themselves, framed in green. On the last page of this report, you find a brief managerial perspective, and this analysis is based on research on leadership connected to the 5-factor model, making it doubly validated, so to speak. In the first section, we get an analysis of the test taker's leadership from a social perspective, how they are perceived as leaders. In the second section, the person's effectiveness is analyzed, meaning how they achieve results through their leadership. That's all for the reports that we have on standard OPTO. If your company works with the module we called OPTO Leadership, there will be 2 additional reports that delve deeper into leadership using 2 significant leadership theories. You can learn more about these reports and what we call versatile leadership and optimized leadership in the OPTO leadership training. Now you can continue with your certification training on OPTO. Thank you for watching.